Hi guys, Luckfuck here and welcome to the FIFA 19 player review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 90 rated team of the week, David Silva. He has got a very nice looking card and he did cost me 125,000 coins, and in the 5 games that I played with him, he scored me 4 goals and got me 2 assists, and he does have a 2-star weak foot as well as 4-star skill moves. Then moving along into his in-game stats, his main standout stats are going to be his 90 attack positioning, his 90 free agility, his 90 balance, and finally his 90 free short passing. And I did have the Catalyst Chems applied to David Silva for the 5 games that I used him with, and they were all played, of course, in Fort Robbers. And I have to say, this card looks very interesting. Really good passing and dribbling stats. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for his pace and his shooting, but overall it does look a pretty decent card. And is it just me, or is anyone really pissed off that he shaved his head like last season or something like that? I know there was a reason behind it to do with I think it was to do with his kid getting born premature or something like that, so obviously there's good reason behind it, but I just preferred him with his longer hair. I think a lot of people do. I don't know. I still can't get used to him with that shaved head. But anyway, yeah, so David Silva, very nice looking card. And I have to say, for the first game, I struggled with him. Didn't know what to kind of do with him. He didn't feel great on the ball. Felt very slow. But I have to say, as I kind of used this card more and more, I really did grow to like him. And I definitely think he's actually worth the amounts that he does currently cost on the market right now. But focusing on his pros, his first one is going to be his passing. Very nice passing stats. 93, sorry, not 93 agility, I'm looking at the dribbling there. 93 vision, 83 crossing, 93 short passing, 81 long passing. I did have the Catalyst Chems style as well, so his vision goes to 99, his short passing goes to 98, which is just insane. Also, yeah, his crossing's pretty decent, his curve's nice. His long passing at 81 as well is fine for a cam position. Only got 2 assists in the 5 games, which is a little bit unlucky. I think he could have easily got me 3 or 4 assists. You'll see chance that he does provide for the likes of Sane, Aguero, Lucas as well, I think, and they just weren't able to finish off some of the chances because the goalkeeper either made a ridiculous save or they hit the woodwork or something like that. But even so, I was still a big fan of his passing. I thought it was very good and how he linked up with the rest of the midfield and my attacking trio. I didn't have a problem with it whatsoever. Thought it was probably the best part to his card actually overall, but not his most surprising part about his card, because that's going to actually be his finishing. I really enjoyed his finishing. 4 goals in 5 games, and I have to say, I was really impressed with it. His weak foot doesn't feel that much of an issue either, and yeah, 90 attack positioning, really nice. 82 volleys isn't bad either, but 74 long shots, 72 shot power, and 74 finishing isn't great for a cam. And actually, with this chem style, I don't have any of his shooting stats boosted whatsoever. To be quite honest, I think the Hunter probably would suit this card most, but in game, I have to say that 74 finishing, that 72 shot power, felt actually pretty decent in game. I didn't have much of an issue with it at all. Scored some really nice goals for me, important goals to win me matches, to get me back into matches, and I have to say, I was actually really impressed by his finishing. Now, it's not as good as someone like Kevin De Bruyne. It's not as good as like the Mkhitaryan Europa League card who I reviewed a couple of days ago, but it was really good by his standards and what, his card shows. It's a lot better than what the stats show for definite, and I couldn't fault his finishing whatsoever. His third pro and his final pro is going to be his dribbling, 90 field agility and 90 balance, coming in at the height of 5'8" as well. You know that I love my small cam players, and yeah, he feels great. Doesn't feel sluggish. The first game he kind of did, but I think that was just down to his pace. We'll touch on that a little bit more in a second, but yeah, his balance, his agility is great. Reactions, ball control, in-game dribbling, composure, all very nice. You would expect that from David Silva. He just looks so good on the ball whenever I watch Manchester City. Probably one of my more favourite Manchester City players over the past 5 years or so to kind of watch. I'm more of a fan of him IRL than Kevin De Bruyne, just because he's been around for such a long time now, kind of David Silva in the Premier League. But yeah, overall, I have to say this card was very, very impressive. In terms of his pace, I definitely recommend putting a Catalyst Chem style or a Hunter Chem style or anything that increases his pace rapidly. He still does, even with the Catalyst Chem style, he still at times feels slow, but not like overly slow. However, I think if you weren't to put a Chem style that increases his pace, you'd notice a really, really big difference, and I think you'd struggle with this card a little bit. 68 pace isn't good enough for a cam card, and pace isn't the be-all, end-all. Is that the right phrase to use? That I think it is. Isn't the most important area, of course, for a cam, but 68 is too low. So make sure you put a chem style to increase his pace, and it actually doesn't feel that bad. But for the most part, I did actually enjoy him, and I think he actually is worth the 125,000 coins, or around that price anyway, for this info card. But anyway, guys, that's going to finish off this player review. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.